Titans Today is growing faster than any other Titans channel on YouTube, and we want to continue that right here. We're trying to reach 8,300 subs. Let's try and reach that mark as soon as possible. We're only 73 subscribers away, so if you just clicked on this video, you're looking for informative, entertaining, and fun Titans news, well then guess what? You're in the right place. So go down there and hit that subscribe button. We got all you want and more. In fact, today we're going to talk about Derrick Henry and his potential of re-signing with the Titans. So hit that subscribe button and let's get rolling here on Titans Today. We appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day to join it with us. I'm your host, Jay Sanders, and let's get going here on Derrick Henry and the potential of him signing back with the Tennessee Titans. Now, King Henry is a free agent, and after the last game and his speech after the game, which we'll talk about, it seemed as though he was very much going to leave. Now, that was the idea for a long time. Obviously, the time with Tennessee was great, but ultimately the past 2 years have not really been the greatest with the Titans. That was until something happened. Titans hired Brian Callahan, an offensive-minded coach, the Bengals offensive coordinator, and a guy who really praised Derrick Henry. And now you think, okay, well, maybe Derrick Henry would want to stay. Maybe Derrick Henry wants to stay. Maybe the Titans want to keep him. Well, guess what? There's a new report that has the confidence growing in Tennessee that not only he will be signed back, but that the Titans cannot miss out on him. So how exactly do the Titans do this? How can they make sure that the running back they've had for the past 8 years, or rather 6 years now, stays with them? He's been here since 2018. He's been an amazing running back and has continued to show that he has gas left in the tank. 2,000 carries in 119 games played in his career. Almost 10,000 yards, and that's just on the ground. He has almost 1,500 receiving, 93 total touchdowns, 90 of those being on the ground, and he has 155 receptions. He knows what he's doing, and what's funny is, he has more passing touchdowns than receiving touchdowns. This guy can do it all. He can pass the ball. He can run the ball for freaking like nobody else, and he can catch the ball. Derrick Henry has been to this organization just an amazing player. He's been, honestly, when you talk about the Tennessee Titans over the last 6 years, you think Derrick Henry. I think that's the name that pops in everybody's head. Now, can that continue, though? Can they sign Derrick Henry? Can they keep him in Nashville for the coming years? Well, I think that's been a controversial thing because Tyjae Spears has played great. So I ask you this. Do you want to re-sign Derrick Henry this offseason? I know some people say he's not worth the money. He's growing old, and it's time for an overhaul of everything. We have Will Levis. Let's start there and build up. So let's ask y'all. Maybe there's a divide. Maybe it's all going to be the same. Are you re-signing Derrick Henry? Then I want you to type R for re-sign. Are you passing on him, letting him say, all right, we've had a hard time with him. He was great. It's time to move on. Well, then type P for pass. What are you doing with Derrick Henry this season? Are you re-signing him? You passing him. R for re-sign. P for pass. Cap space is pretty good for the Tennessee Titans. They have the second most in the National Football League, just behind the Washington Commanders, who have over $80 million, which is kind of insane. The Patriots, 70, Colts at 66, and Houston at 66. Obviously, you see a couple of teams in your division down here, so you need to make sure that you are going to be fighting to make yourselves better because that was a team that made it to the divisional round. That was a team that was one game away from the playoff. Yeah, you weren't close to the playoffs. So you need to make sure to revamp this team as much as possible. And honestly, Henry wouldn't hurt the cap too much. Obviously, he's going to be a good price, but it's not going to be like detrimental. It's not like you're going to sign Henry and boom, you can't sign too much after that. I think ultimately Derrick Henry is looking for a 2-year deal. He's 30 years old. He's a running back. He's a hard-nosed running back. So as of right now, you're probably thinking, okay, how much left does he have in the tank? That's what the organization's thinking. You're looking at him saying, okay, well, he has done this the past couple of years, so he obviously looks like he's still good. But do we trust that? Do we keep Henry around? Do we sign him? Or do we stick with Tyjae Spears, who had an amazing rookie year? In fact, was at the top 5 of rookie all-purpose yards, along with Puka Nacua, who broke the rookie receiving record. Tyjae was the backup for Derrick Henry and still put up a lot of amazing numbers. Is it time to move on from Derrick Henry? Well, why don't we start with what Derrick Henry wants and talk about kind of what exactly he is asking for. Does he want to stay in Tennessee? Does he want to test out free agency? Now that Brian Callahan's the coach, does he want to stay? We'll let you know what he said and kind of all the latest on that here in just a second. But if you want some Tennessee Titans gear this offseason to get yourself pumped and ready for the draft, the Titans having the number 7 overall pick And I want you to have your Titans gear on lock for draft night. And hey, maybe the Titans make a big fringe move. Maybe T. Higgins is signed in the next coming weeks. Well, make sure you have your Titans gear ready and ready to go for that day. So go to there. You can get a hat and shirt combo for 25% off right now if you go to chatsports.com/10combo. I'm telling you, it's really, really good. Plus, who doesn't love the baby blues for Tennessee? It's got to be the best color in sports when you use it, and the Titans have it in their color scheme. Go get it. A nice little hat and shirt combo. Also, perfect dad hat. If you just want the shirt, you can get the shirt and then give your hat to your dad, give your hat to your mom, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, because you got a gift. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, though. This is super pretty cool. Plus 25% off. Get it while it's there. Chatsports.com/TEN combo. We're going to put that in the comments and the description of this video. Go check it out to get your 25% off. Let's take you back a little bit to Derrick Henry's final speech on the finale of the Titans 2023 season, because that was something that maybe started, okay, what is Derrick Henry thinking? Prior to that, he hadn't mentioned too much about his future, just that it's crazy that it's almost over. Well, here's what he said to the Titan faithful in Nashville on the final game of the season. Titans fans, I just want to say thank you for the greatest 8 years of my life. The ups and the downs, y'all have been there for everything. Through the adversity, watching me grow as a person and a player, always supporting me. I love y'all. I love seeing the 22s in the stadium. Hopefully, I was an inspiration to all the young kids and everybody in the community. Just thank y'all so much. God is good, and tighten up, baby. I don't know about you, that sounded like a goodbye to me. That sounded like a thank you for everything, I've got to go. But at the same time, when you don't know what's coming, wouldn't you want to cover all your bases? Wouldn't you want to make sure that if this is your final game, you want to show your gratitude to Titans Nation, show your gratitude to everybody who supported you? So maybe that was more or less just him checking all the bases there, because now you have Brian Callahan. And in his introductory press conference, he also talked about Derrick Henry and the potential of him coming back to Tennessee and what he thinks about the superstar running back. He said this: he's been a remarkable player. He's been the face of the franchise here for a long time. When you think of the Tennessee Titans, you think of Derrick Henry. He's earned that. Look, if he is open to a return, that fits for us. I'm never going to say no to good players. I know that he's been an incredible leader in this building as well, which also carries a lot of weight. You can find ways to use every player. There's no offensive system that I would say I don't like to have Derrick Henry here. It seems to be up to Henry at this point. I think ultimately the Titans have shown their interest. They would like to potentially throw some money at him, say, hey, we would like to have you back. But it seems to be, does Derrick Henry want that? Does he want to try and go somewhere else? Because the Titans are in somewhat of a rebuilding phase. Now, I think this may be a faster rebuild than most because you have a new coach. You have a lot of cap space. You have the 7th overall pick. You already have some offensive weapons in place, and you just happen to not have a good season. Ultimately, this rebuild could be done by next year in some ways. I mean, I think there's a possibility where next year the Titans are fighting for an AFC South championship. Do we know that for sure, though? No. And so Derrick Henry has to make the choice because ultimately he has had a good last 3 seasons, which means he has options. He's had over 1,000 yards 2 of those seasons, and the one season he didn't, he only played in 8 games. 8 games, and he was still less than 70 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. That was the year he broke the bone in his foot and ultimately still played an incredible year. This guy still has gas left in the tank. Nobody is questioning that. Nobody is sitting here saying, oh, Derrick Henry's washed. He's done. There's no point to have Derrick Henry anymore. Why in the world do we keep him? Don't need to do that. Well, he still has gas. He still knows what he's doing. And so for Brian Callahan to come into this organization, knowing he has Will Levis, knowing he has DeAndre Hopkins next year, knowing he has Tajay Spears, knowing he has the 7th overall pick that will likely be Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu or Brock Bowers, he has the choice here to say, hey, Ran, let's do everything we can in our possibility to sign back Derrick Henry. Because ultimately, the King has really played well in Tennessee, and you want to keep him in Tennessee because I think Brian said it best. When you think of Tennessee, you think of Derrick Henry. You think of King. So how can you keep him in a Titans uniform? Because I don't know about you, but in my head, Derrick Henry was going to be a Tennessee Titan from the moment he was drafted until the moment he retired. He reminds me, Earl Campbell, the late great. He has been great with the Titans. Now you have to have this with Derrick Henry. You have to sign him back. You have to keep him in your organization. And I think it's not an option. You have the cap space. The only way that Derrick Henry is not a Titan next year, in my opinion, is if he says no. You put a blank check in front of him and say, hey, 2 years, what do you want on this? Put your number. I think that's exactly what they should do. We'll see if they do it, though. Obviously, I don't know what Ran Carthon's plan is. I don't know what it's going to be with Brian Callahan. So now we just sit and we wait. But while we wait, we're going to be posting content right here on Titans Today. And we're going to be keeping you covered on everything with free agency, with the draft, mock drafts, coaching hires, everything you want, all right here on Titans Today. So hit that subscribe button again. 73 subscribers from 8,300 strong. So here's what we're going to do. Get down there, hit that sub button. It's flashed on your screen, youtube.com/Titans Today, or scroll down, little red subscribe button. Press that. Going to turn gray. It's going to make me happy, and it's going to make you a part of the largest growing Titans fan base on YouTube. We appreciate you, as always, Titans fans. Tighten up and peace out.